So today we are going to start chapter number 12, that is progression of the empire. Uh, Till now we have learnt about the rise of the Maratha power and its expansion, right? We studied the development from the foundation of Swaraj till its expansion into an empire. Now, in this chapter, we take a brief review of the Sardar families, right? Who gave their valuable contribution for expanding the Maratha kingdom in the northern parts of India. So here we will see some of the Sardar families whose valuable contribution led to the expansion of Maratha power in the whole northern part of India. Now, as you can see here, the Hodkars of Indore. So Mallar Rao was the founder of Hodkar rule at Indore. He served the Maratha state for a long time. He was well versed in guerrilla warfare. He proved his valor in the northern campaign of Maratha at the time of Bajirao I and Nanasaheb Peshwa. He was instrumental in establishing the Maratha supremacy in Malwa and Rajputana. He proved to be of great help to Peshwa Madhavrao in reviving Maratha prestige in the north after defeat at Panipat. So, Punyashloka Ahilyabai Hodkar was the wife of Khanderao, who was Mallarrao's son. Khanderao died in the Battle of Kumbheri. After the few days Mallar Rao also passed away. After him Ahilyabai assumed the reins of Indore administration. She was capable, astute and excellent administrator. She made new laws for agricultural sales, revenue collection, and put affairs of the state in order. She strove to bring more land under cultivation, digging wells for farmers, promoting trade and industry, building lakes and tanks. She built temples, ghats, mutt, dharmshalas, drinking water facility at important places of pilgrimage in the four quarters of India. These efforts of her was important for the cultural integration of the country. She looked into judicial matter personally and dispensed justice. She was very generous. She had great love of books. She ruled ably for 28 years and enhanced the Maratha prestige in the north. She brought peace and order to her kingdom and made her people happy. Yashwantrao Hodkar tried to save Maratha kingdom when it was on the decline. Now, the Bhosles of Nagpur. Parsoji was given Jagir of Farad and Gondavan during the reign of Shahu Maharaj. Among the Bhosles of Nagpur, Raghuji was the bravest and most capable. He bought the area under Tiruchirappalli and Arcot in the south under Maratha dominance. Shah Maharaj had assigned to him Chauthai rights of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. He bought these territories under the Maratha dominance. In 1751, the Bhosles of Nagpur won the Odisha territory from Ali Vardi Khan. Till 1803, Marathas dominated Odisha. Now, the Maratha Dutch. The British at Kolkata used to fear Bhosles from Nagpur. So, to protect the city of Kolkata from possible Maratha attack, they dug a ditch around the city. That ditch came to be known as Maratha Ditch. Now, the Shindes of Gwalior, Mahatji Shinde. Now, Bajirao I had rightly judged the capability of Ranoji Shinde and made him Sardar in the north. His son Jayappa Dattaji and Mahatji too proved his valor and strengthened the Maratha rule in the north. Peshwa Madhavrao conferred the family title on Maharji. Maharji was a brave general and was an astute statesman. Maharji was instrumental in re-establishing the Maratha supremacy and prestige in the North India after the Maratha defeat at Panipat. He realized that guerrilla tactics of Marathas would not be suitable for warfare in the plains of North. He trained his army, modernized his artillery under the guidance of French military expert de Broglie. With the help of his trained army, he subdued Rohillas, Jats, Rajputs, and Bundelas. Now the British began to take interest in politics at Delhi. When they felt that the Marathas might have become weak after the Battle of Panipat, they managed to get Diwani Raj of Bengal province and wanted to capture the Empire of Delhi. In these adverse circumstances, Maharaji Shinde defeated British and reinstated the emperor on the throne. The emperor was pleased with his bravery and conferred the title Wakil-i-Mutlaq, chief agent of the emperor, upon him, which meant that he had the authority of civil and military rights. He accepted that position on behalf of the minor Peshwa Savai Madhavrao. Due to this, the Marathas gained full control of the empire. It was very difficult to save the tottering empire. Maharji managed the difficult affairs with strong determination and looked after the Delhi affairs during 1784 to 1794. The heirs of Najib Khan, responsible for Panipat battle, were still plotting against Marathas in Rohilkhand. Najib's grandson Ghulam Qadir captured the Red Fort and tortured the emperor and Begum for his further wealth. He gouged out the emperor's eyes and took hold of the royal treasury. In these circumstances, Maharshi defeated Qadir. He confiscated the wealth from him and returned it to the emperor. He reinstated the emperor on the throne of Delhi. Thus, Maharshi recovered the Maratha prestige which was lost after the Battle of Panipat. He controlled the politics of India by putting the emperor under Maratha control. Due to the family feuds among the Peshwas, Raghunath Rao opted to go to British camp. He wanted to become Peshwa with the help of the British. It was not acceptable to Maratha statesmen. This led to an invincible conflict between the Marathas and the British. The conflict between the two great powers, the Marathas and British, would finally decide who the ruler of India would be. From Mumbai, the British marched on the Marathas via Borghat. The Marathas army gathered under the leadership of Maharji Shinde. The Marathas blocked the supply of food grains to the British using guerrilla tactics. Both the armies met at Vadgaon on today's Pune-Mumbai road. The British were defeated in this battle and were forced to surrender the custody of Raghunath Rao to Marathas. Delhi was under the Maratha control till 1803, when we note that the British conquered India after battling with the Marathas. We understand the importance of Maharji's achievement. After setting in order the affairs of Delhi, Maharji came to Pune. He died at Vanawadi near Pune, where a memorial is built to him. Like the Shindes, the Hodkars, and the Bhosles, some other prominent Maratha Sardars are also rendered noteworthy service to the Maratha Raj. As you can see here, this is Shinde Chhatri, Vanwadi, Pune. The navy raised by Shivaji Maharaj was strengthened by Kanoji Angre and his son Tulaji. With this strong navy, they contained the naval powers of the Portuguese, the British, the Siddhis. They defended the coastline of the Maratha state. Khanderao Dabhade and his son Trimbak Rao laid the foundation of Maratha power in Gujarat. After the death of Khanderao, his wife Umabai routed the Mughal Sardar of Ahmedabad. She conquered the fort there. Later the Gaikwads made Vadodara in Gujarat a seat of their power. The Pawars of Dhar and Devas in Madhya Pradesh rendered valuable assistance to the Shindes and Hodkars in expanding the Maratha power in the north. The Maratha state was in disarray after the death of Peshwa Madhavrao. Nana Fadnavis, the famous administrator of the Peshwa and the Maratha state right the affair of the state with the help of Maharji. While Maharji was busy restoring the Maratha supremacy in the north, Nana managed the affairs of the south. In this he was helped by Patwardhans, Haripant Phadke, the Rastes, and other Sardars. As a result of this, Maratha supremacy was established in the south. The Hodkars of Indore, Bhosles of Nagpur, Shindes of Gwalior, Gaikwads of Vadodara brought glory to the Maratha power on the basis of their valor, leadership qualities, and capabilities. They were the pillar of Maratha power in the last phase. The Maratha Sardar were successful in establishing the influence of Maratha power both in North and South India. After the death of Maharji Shinde and Nana Fadnavis, the Maratha power began to wane. At that time, Bajirao II, the son of Raghunath Rao, was a Peshwa. He did not have leadership qualities and had many vices. He was unable to unite Maratha Sardars. The internal strife between the Sardar weakened their powers. During the reign of Bajirao II, the Maratha influence in the north and south waned further. The British replaced the Marathas. The British captured Pune in 1817 and hoisted the flag Union Jack there. In 1818, the British defeated Marathas in the Battle of Asti in Solapur district, and finally Maratha's power came to an end. This event marks a major change in the history of India. After this, the British managed to gain control over the major part of India. India came into contact with the Western world. This led to many changes in the Indian social system. Many old things became redundant or were pushed aside. This was a major transformation. A major change took place. The medieval period of Indian history came to an end. The modern period began. So here is the activity. Create a pictorial chart to show the families that contributed to the expansion of Maratha power. Exhibit 8 in your school. As you can see, this is Shaniwar Wada, Pune. It is a fort. Thank you for listening.